everyone! This is the kind of talk through the October bullet journal spread. There's not really a theme to this, but I just thought that this was a really nice look. I had just purchased an instamini. It's like a Polaroid printout machine, so I really wanted to practice with the settings to get some good ideas. How can I get the best pictures out of it? So these were some practice images that I printed out. So instead of letting them go to waste, I just put them into my October bullet journal. And my birthday was recently, so my siblings were really nice and got me the summer solstice washi tape, and that's what you see on the left hand side. I cut it down into 3 strips and kind of arranged it so that you can see the gilded parts of it, and I love it. I love it. Like, this was out of stock for a while, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'll never get my hands on it, but it was really nice they were able to buy that for me. This scrapbook paper that I'm using, you've already seen it in my Spy Family spread. There was so much of it that I still had some left over, and I think it really worked well with this. And this is all about layering. I don't have a theme because I'm without my printer, so I haven't been able to do an anime theme for a while, and it's been really sad. But if you're kind of wondering how I did this, it's just cutting down the scrapbook paper to the page size, and I'm just describing what I'm doing on the left hand side right now. And if you have a corner rounder, that's great, but you can also use some scissors just to round the corners yourself. And I would stick that right on there either with glue or double-sided tape, which is what I used. And then I centered my picture in the middle of it. I did get the instamini 2. It's the updated version, and after downloading the app and playing with the settings with brightness, saturation, and contrast, you can make sure that your image is crisp like this. I love how this turned out, so no complaints. And then the little brown paper portion above it is actually some scrap paper I tore off of a takeout bag. So I just kind of ripped it in a way that it looks like a cloud, and I took some rubber stamps to type in white ink October, and you can kind of see that it kind of got splotched out a little bit. So I was like, I don't really want to do that again, so I just wrote by hand 2022. It worked a lot better with the leaves at the bottom, like the plants at the bottom, in the white ink. I think it's just how it, maybe the rubber stamps were cut that there was a lot of bleeding, or it's probably me pressing way too hard on it, because I was like, I want this to show up, so I like smashed it down, but maybe I shouldn't have done that. And then that's the end of the left page. With the right page with the whole calendar, I just kind of did my spacing like I did with my other months, and made sure that I had enough space at the top for the next Polaroid. And because it was kind of plain, I went ahead and ripped another piece off of the brown paper bag and did some squiggles for some clouds and stars, and then put that Polaroid right on top. So that would be the end of this section. And then the next part right here is my habit tracker as well as my savings tracker financially wise. So again, I used the summer solstice washi tape, and I stretched it to divide the page into 2 pieces. And at the very top, I decided to make that my habit tracker. I try to make it more free, so I kind of spaced those habit points apart from each other, and then filled it in with a lot of wiggly clouds in gold pen ink. And I think it turned out really well. I'm just going to come in a little closer so you can see what I did. And that highlighter color is from the zebra midliners. It's not the red one, it's kind of like the burnt orange color. And then I used the same zebra midliners to do a blue for the subject lines of the financial trackers and savings trackers. And this is nice if you have, like, for an example, a high yield account, and then whenever you regularly deposit, it's good to put the date, and then why are you, like, where's it coming from? Where's the money coming from? Is it a deposit? Is it a withdrawal? How much are you taking out or putting in? And how much is left in that account? And then same kind of thing with this, except the top right here is supposed to track what you're spending within the month. So you would be tracking, like, kind of daily how much you spend, and then it'll all kind of come out at the bottom, which should be your checking account, is how I use it. And then at the end, when payments come out of it, you're recorded at the bottom here so that you know how much is in your checking, and if you overspent or if you have a little more wiggle room for the month. So that's how I've been using it, and I like it. You can kind of see why I do this very consistently. It's because I like to see where my money is going. So I think I will continue to use this spread to help me out. This is the start of the weekly spreads, and so for the first week, October starts on a Saturday. So I was like, I don't really need a lot of room for notes at that point, just because I know what my schedule is going to be like. So I went ahead and squeezed that whole first week of October on that page. And this one's really simple to do. I first started off with putting out the washi tape on the side, which is still from the summer solstice collection from the washi tape shop. And then I made sure to measure my boxes to give equal space to each day. And then from there, I put these little circles to kind of, remind you of, like, kind of planets, or even like bubbles in the ocean, something like that. So I went ahead and tried to coordinate the colors with the washi tape. And then you can see in there, I've got the numbers for the days of the week, and then I put the actual day of the week name in the corners right there. So that one was pretty simple to do. I wanted to do something different because I feel like I follow that layout a lot. So I've never done circles before, so I use this I don't know what you call it, but it's a thing that helps you make circles. Like, there's a ton of little guidelines to make perfect circles, and I use that device to do it. It's but either way, you could have used like a cup, or you could have used a can to do this. So I basically drew this big circle, divided it up into 8, and went ahead and filled in one of the pie pieces with a washi tape that coordinated with the watercolor splash that I threw on here. So really the first thing I did to create this was use watercolor markers and colored a Ziploc bag. And once I spread out those colors on the bag, I gave it a spritz of water and dragged it across the page. So I've got all these colors because of that. And then right on top of that, I drew my circle once it was dry. And then I divided it up into those 8 pieces. And then looking back on it, to make the center a little more clear and cool, I should have just, went ahead and did my sun, and then separated 2 more rings in there, so that way the number of my day of the week and the actual name of the day of the week could have been crisper and cleaner instead of being overlapped like this. It was an afterthought when I decided to do that, so that's why it's kind of messed up. Instead of having like a note page within the circle, I decided I was just going to let the notes spread on to the bottom half or above the circle where I had drew my wiggly clouds and stars. And just to give it some like a more tarot card looking feel. I went ahead and did these rough borders on the side, these rough pen borders. They're not completely closed off, so there's still like this free, open feeling to it. So overall it's not too bad. It could have been better, but I will think about that for next time. This next weekly spread is very similar to what I did for my August bullet journal. The washi tape is still from the summer solstice collection, but it was a little bit of a different feel. It was more delicate, so I actually put some pictures of my cats in here instead, and the highlighter is still the zebra midliners I'm using, so I just love the delicate colors that come with it, so I think it really fit. I tried not to use too much black because I thought that the brown paper bag part would match better with the brown pen I have from Pilot, but because I have a picture of my black cat over here, I decided to put some black accents onto the next page. So you can even see that the strip of washi tape is a little bit darker there, so I try to keep things as consistent as I can. This is the final layout for this October bullet journal spread. This is actually where I will document my feelings and journaling about what's bothering me, what's stressing me out, and maybe my future plans. So I made this weeping willow looking thing with scrap pieces of the brown paper bag, and then I used some highlighters from the zebra midliner pack to go ahead and make some of those leaves and branches. And then I did drop in a quote from my therapist, and I really like this because she said that setting boundaries does not mean withholding love, and I think that really stuck with me because that's all I've ever known, that if you say no or put up a boundary, that it meant that I didn't love my family or I didn't love my friends. So I lived a long time with no boundaries and letting people walk all over me. So I thought this was like, what a way to say it in words. I just never could put that in words, and she said it just like that. So I put it in my journal, and you can see it's right next to my kitty right there, and she's so funny. You've probably seen videos of her already, but she is I don't know, she's crazy. I can't say anything else about it. And I think this will continue on the next few pages if I have more feelings. The spread will kind of continue, and I'll make like extra boxes, more highlighting, accents, and yeah. Just do whatever you think is best for you, because I think this is what worked best for me in the past. So yeah, that is the end for the October bullet journal spread. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have questions on how to recreate it, just give me a comment or go ahead and message me. Thank you so much. Bye.